Colonel Rayburn. I've known you as a soldier, as a gentleman, as a man whose integrity is beyond reproach. And I am more than willing to personally vouch for your character and your integrity here today for all of my colleagues. I am extremely troubled by any attempt to somehow use guilt by association with someone that you may have been, as a soldier, working with, but certainly not responsible for comments they may have made to the media, etc. You have been one of the most loyal members of the former Trump administration and made significant contributions. I'd just like to open the floor to you. What would you consider your greatest contribution during the first Trump administration to our national security?
Senator, thank you for the opportunity to say that. You're absolutely right. In the first Trump administration, during the campaign for president, and during this the current administration, even in my capacity as a private citizen, I support the president's policies 100%. I supported the president's policies and his ideas for America since he first announced his candidacy in 2015. I was very proud of the opportunity that I had during the first Trump administration to serve on the National Security Council staff to try to bring fresh eyes to the most critical national security problems that we faced.
I would just say that one of the greatest achievements that I think President Trump could point to in his first term were the Abraham Accords, and you played a critical role there. Could you give us, enlighten the committee here a bit about what you can say?
Absolutely, Senator. I mean, there were many people who contributed and led on the Abraham Accords. I was proud to play a small part both in the run-up to the Abraham Accords and then in my role at the State Department in the Near East Bureau at the time, in playing a supporting role, and including Senator, taking the necessary step of implementing the president's policy to show that we were willing to neutralize the threat from the Iranian regime in order to create the political space for our other allies and partners to make the historic agreements to reach peace between Arab partners and our Israeli allies, so that they could be confident and take the political risk that they had to take in order to make those concessions, to work with our Israeli allies, to work with our Arab partners and allies to bring that about. I was very proud of that and still am.
I am too. When I served as ambassador, I worked very hard to get secondary sanctions imposed in Iran. I did it with Japan. We stopped their purchases of energy from Iran. Maximum pressure actually worked. You worked on the prosperity piece of that equation, and the resolve that was demonstrated by America under President Trump with your able assistance, I think, made a massive contribution. And I just want to be clear that those contributions should be viewed in light of who you are. And certainly, any attempt to try to tie you to somebody else that is not you, someone you might have reported to because that was the chain of command that you respect as a soldier, I think is wholly inappropriate. And again, I encourage my colleagues here in the committee to look at the fine person that's sitting before us and his qualifications as an individual. Ambassador Desambre, I'd like to turn to you. Your charge as head of East Asia Pacific Affairs, should you be confirmed, is going to be one of the most challenging parts of the world. I know that you've had a lot of time to consider this. You've lived in the region, you've worked in the region, you understand the culture, but I'd certainly like to get your thoughts in terms of your priorities, specifically with respect to economic prosperity and how you might use that tool. LNG comes to mind, but other ideas that you may have in terms of strengthening our posture in the region.
Senator, thank you very much for that question. This was indeed one of my top priorities when I was ambassador to Thailand, was to strengthen the economic partnership in Thailand and use all the toolkit that we have at our availability, which a lot of that includes the strength of our U.S. companies and getting them to be able to find opportunities. I actually rolled out a deal team process in Thailand where I took interagency people across 4 different industries: healthcare, pharma, technology and infrastructure, aerospace and defense, and I guess the 4th one was technology again, and managed to push opportunities to really make sure that the deal team was looking at any opportunity for American companies to come into Thailand and opportunities for Thai companies to also come back to America for investments. And you're absolutely right, LNG was actually an interesting one, or actually in that case natural gas, because there's a big gas field between Thailand and Vietnam that currently is not exploited because of overlapping claims issues between ownership of that between Taiwan and between Thailand and Cambodia. And so trying to solve those issues and helping them develop their own resources while using American companies like Chevron and others to be involved in that. So my plan is to roll out those sorts of initiatives across all of EAP and really make sure that we use commercial diplomacy to try to strengthen relationships between all Asian countries and America.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Senator Rosen.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Really appreciate everyone holding this hearing. I want to thank our witnesses for testifying today, your families and friends that are here with you, your willingness to serve, and Mr. Rayburn, thank you for meeting with